Tennessee Titans fans, we are back today with another clip from the NFL Network. Ian Rapoport, this time interviewing L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback that was once hailed as one of the best corners in the league until he signed with the Titans, and now all of a sudden he's just a forgotten part of what the Chiefs have been doing over the last 5 years. L'Jarius Sneed, now a Tennessee Titan, and of course you're not going to hear much about that because the media hates us. But this is Ian Rapoport on the NFL Network interviewing L'Jarius Sneed. The title of this video is intriguing. L'Jarius Sneed left a world champion to join the Titans, and he's ready to build the next one. You have my undivided attention, sir.
One of the Titans' newest and biggest additions, L'Jarius Sneed, kind enough to sit down with us. How are you feeling? What's this been like?
It's been great, loving taking everything in, learning everybody. It's different, but, I love it.
So you go from a place that obviously wins a championship and has won championships and clearly has a foundation for how to do it, right? And then you go to this place, which has plenty of talent and a new coach, and is trying to build the foundation to get where the Chiefs were. How can you kind of use your experience in Kansas City to help this place get where it wants to go?
Come from my experience, for what I was taught, hard work and everything. But, since I came in here, everything is really championship swagger. And I know what championships look like,
All right, L'Jarius. Don't get me too excited now. It's only 2:20 in the afternoon as I'm recording this. The sun ain't even down yet. Don't get me too excited. I don't know what else he's supposed to say. I mean, I guess if the question is, what can you bring to this team based on what you were able to do in Kansas City? I mean, that's the answer. I know what it takes to win a championship. And, I think this team has something to it. But it is cool to hear the term championship swagger. A little CS going on.
They taking the steps day by day, from the coaches to the players. We all taking it step by step.
How about you talk about championship swagger and that you see that here? How far off is this team?
We're not too far off, I don't like to put prediction out there, but, we're not too far off. We're going to be great. We're heading in the right direction.
Help us out here because you get a look at the quarterback on.
I said this about when they interviewed Will Levis the other day. I would much rather you say that than to say, we're ready to go. We're going to win the division. We're going to go to the playoff. Because then you're jinxing yourself. I prefer to have that kind of answer. It's like, hey, we're getting there. It's just now August. We're getting there. We got a month till the season starts, which ain't that long. Come on, somebody. But, I like his.
On the other side, what's Will Levis looking like? And this is, you want to be tested in practice. You guys have some receivers here this season, and we know that they're going to sling it. So what has it been like watching those guys try to get after it and get that chemistry going?
I love it, man. I see Will, he's in here every day working. I try to peep in the room. I see him in a room by himself with his wide receivers. They going through it, and I know once that connection come in, it's going to be a scary sight.
So you guys.
Hey, Calvin's tearing it up in practice, by the way. I don't tell the folks in Duval County, but Calvin Ridley turns out to be a good route runner, contrary to what they've said. Conveniently, since he decided to leave, all of a sudden he became a bad route runner with bad hands. I've heard, he said that, and I've heard that from other players as well. In interviews, that Levis is there every day. He's, taking the time when he doesn't even have to be in a room with these guys full of, a veteran receiving core. And to hear the words come out of her mouth, they got some receivers here on this team. Do you know how long we've waited? Oh, let me just take time. Spirit, lead me where. The fact is, how many years? I mean, we had AJ come in for a brief stint before we made the stupidest decision ever. Outside of him, we've waited to just have a good, solid receiving group. And now with Ridley and Hopkins and Boyd and Burks, it's like, oh, thank God. Thank God!
Do have some baller receivers, and obviously the two most high profile. You have DeAndre Hopkins, who wasn't out here today, but I know has been a fixture out on the field. And then you have Calvin Ridley as well. Take me through what it's like going against those guys in practice.
Oh, man, they're elite guys, hops. He's the finesse guy. He's all the tricks and moves. Really just
he's been doing it for a bit,
a long time. Really just an elite wide receiver. I love coming out here and see him compete against the guys who make us better each day.
And what about Ridley? Talk me through what he's been like.
Oh yeah, he's just a great receiver. Elite, like I just said, and every day we come out here, he make us.
Love that he's like, what do you want me to say? Like, he's good. He's a great receiver. Like, what do you want me to say?
I mean, you had the last couple of years of your career were on such a ride with this Kansas City team, and I'm just curious because we like to pick your brains about this stuff in the locker room. Do those guys ask you about Mahomes, and do they pick your brain on that kind of insight?
Yeah, a couple of guys asked me, from the players, what Mahomes is like. Mahomes is a great player. Everybody knows he's great. He's one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
So when you had your saga in March, and it was sort of.
That's kind of a weird question to throw in the middle of all this. What's Patrick Mahomes like? I don't know. Why don't you ask Patrick? I mean, go to Arrowhead and sit down with him and ask him so that he can be like, man, I'm just out here trying to get better every single day. I came up in here looking like a middle school student on day one with my backpack on. That voice is more similar to country superstar Luke Bryan than it is to Patrick Mahomes. A little too country for Patrick, but.
Is he going to get traded? Where's he going to go? It was a lot, I think, publicly. You ended up getting traded here at 11:30 at night. I was sleeping. I guess my question to you is, why would you do that to me?
Well, I didn't do it to I found out the same time you found out.
I was going to say, were you sleeping?
I was sleeping too myself.
Come on.
I was relaxing myself, I got excited from the phone calls and everything, yeah.
What was that like? I mean, it's so much uncertainty, and then it's boom, you're here.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I was trying to get something done. I was trying to get, settled, and I didn't, things to work out for me and my family, and things worked out, and I didn't sleep that night at all.
Is this like family day at Titans practice or something? I don't know if you guys could see this cause I don't know if I'm having to cover it because of copyright or anything. There's babies in the background. There's kids wandering around. There's people in dressy clothes. Is this bring your family to work day or something?
I didn't sleep that night. I had to fly out and I didn't sleep. Yeah.
That's so cool.
For you personally, what's the biggest challenge being on a new team at this time of year, right? At some point you get into the season and it's football is football, but for you when you're still adjusting, there's a lot of new pieces here, right? What's the biggest challenge for you personally right now?
My biggest challenge, just learning everybody. I'm a quiet person and, just trying to take that leader role, sponsorship that I wasn't used to, just trying to change. And I love change, and it's something I'm ready to adapt to.
One thing I'll tell you about L'Jarius, the player who was voted the best player in the league the other day, Tyreek Hill. I don't take anything away from him. He is a top 5 player in the league. I can't believe he was number 1 instead of Mahomes. But an elite player, the best wide receiver in the game, L'Jarius Sneed, shut the man down when they played the Dolphins, all right, in the playoffs.
You have a defensive coordinator that is not a household name, very accomplished, but not a household name in Denard. You have obviously seen him, worked with him. What's he been like?
Oh, man, he's lovely, He's got that swagger.
Lovely.
That's the type of coaching that I love. He's aggressive, and he should have a household name, and he's going to have a household name after this season.
Okay. If you needed any proof that L'Jarius is far tougher than Ian and I gave him, I was joking with you. You're out here, and it is sweltering, and you're in a black hoodie.
I was about to say, this dude's in a hoodie, and I don't know what it's like everybody else weather-wise in the South here. I'm about an hour 45 from Nashville. It's 100 degrees. This dude's in a hoodie.
I'm sweating now.
Well, yeah, and when we put some lights on you, that changes it. But we're not in a hoodie, so that's the kind of toughness here. Hey, best of luck. New team, very high expectations, and I know they're so happy to have you here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Very high expectations. Based on what? Every clip I watch on here is people saying they expect the Titans to go 4-13 and have a top 5 draft pick. Well, how's that for expectations? No pressure. Expectations are high for Houston. That's the team you're thinking of, not the team that used to be in Houston. The team that's in Houston now. That's the team that has all the pressure. Because everybody expects them to be Super Bowl contenders. Ain't nobody expecting nothing from the Titans. I was curious to hear this because I haven't heard many L'Jarius Sneed interviews. Being in Kansas City, it was all about Mahomes. Kelsey, Chris Jones, Andy Reid. But it's interesting to hear, somebody who has done it, somebody who has been a part of something amazing in Kansas City, as bad as we all hate it. Something amazing there. And, as I said at the beginning of this video, a guy that was talked about as one of the best corners in the league. Everybody was eager to have him. And then the Titans got him. And then all of a sudden it became, whatever. He didn't help too much with that Chiefs dynasty. Whatever. I'm glad to have Sneed. Secondary's greatly improved. And we're starting back with the Two Tone Talk podcast tomorrow. I'll see you then, everybody. Bye.